Again.
And especially in 2 days. Right. Like if he still held it on Friday.
Welcome to Breakfast and BS with Vince and Friends. I'm, of course, your host, Vince, and today we got producer Virgil. Hi. Sergio Cyberwolf Sanchez. And Johnny the Derailer Lowe.
That's awesome. I didn't even derail anything. Not yet. You actually didn't.
I know, you were very good this one time.
Yeah,
So restrained.
we were so thrown, caught off guard that Virgil had to derail it for you.
He's grown up.
I'm just saying, I called him the derailer. He claims he's not derailing anything, and here's the entrance getting derailed.
Yes.
I'll be good.
We're here, of course, at Santa Fe, beautiful Miss California, the jewel of the hills, and fellas, it is always a pleasure.
Hello. Yes.
So, I want to start off with some angry news. Some changry news there.
Angry news or anger-inducing news?
Angry and inducing.
The worst kind.
Is this the link you sent me?
Yes, it is.
Uh-oh.
Did you watch the other video I sent you yesterday?
I got like halfway through, and then went to stop talking about the main thing. Then
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, I know what it is about.
Don't keep us in suspense. What's it about?
So, as we all know, Thundercats Roar, or Thundercats, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say
Tiger
what?
Cat.
Sorry.
What are we talking about?
Thundercats Roar is
terrible?
a real thing.
Yeah, and it's terrible.
And they're using Teen Titans Go to promote it. But in this promotion, they have the original Lion-O, voiced by the original voice actor, calling the die-hard fans of the original poo-poo fans and poo-poo.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
Bring back Wolfenstein.
He needs work.
Apparently. So they're insulting the fans big time. And the biggest kick in the nuts is they show the 2011, I want to say? Reboot one, but then they have
The 80s.
the 80s Panthro. They have a skeleton of him, like right next to the 2011 remake.
What?
But the thing about about the original Panthro is he passed away a couple years ago. And then
The voice actor?
yes, so that's just a freaking big insult to injury right there.
He played the grandpa in the Bill in Cosby Show.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
that was him. But when Vince sent the video to me, I was already prepared to be angry, and so when I was listening to it, I was not as angry as I was going to be, but only because I had prepped myself for it. But it is probably, there's a lot of privilege in this world, okay? And when you come from, this is Cartoon Network, right?
Yes.
I don't know what happened there. I really don't.
Me neither.
And like it's this weird like they think they're Disney in the sense like or they think we're at this level where we can do whatever the hell we want without any backlash or anything. And I don't look why? What happened and why does that think that makes them money? I don't get it. I don't understand.
They're just disconnected. That's it.
The rumor going around is that Thundercats Roar is already canceled. They're just showing the episodes they made, but just the fact that they actually decided, like, oh, this will be a good idea to insult all the fans.
Well, they probably got upset because of the backlash from the fans. But guess what? Make a good show then, and you won't have the backlash from the
But
fans.
see, Teen Titans has already done this 2 other times.
Oh, with what?
With the Young Justice, they did an episode making fun of the fans and all that stuff with that. And with the original Teen Titans series.
Didn't they do those shows though? Or did?
Yeah, Teen Titans also made fun of those shows. And the fan base for those. Teen Titans Go.
So what's the response when people see that and then like do they just stop watching? What happens? Or they just keep going?
Both.
Okay.
I know when they came out with the Young Justice one, I stopped watching for a while, but eventually I went back.
Right.
Just because it's basically flood Cartoon Network with Teen Titans Go. And I love Robin. Yeah. We all know.
Yes.
So I can only stay mad for so long.
He's your Scott Hall.
Huh?
He's your Scott Hall.
Okay.
Yeah. No, you love the guy, but even though he messes up, but then he's good now. You know?
Yeah. But then they'll do something like this where I'm like, this is bullshit, I'm done. But then I'll probably go home and watch Teen Titans go to the movies.
So he's more really good.
Yeah. Really good.
Yes.
Especially when your friend gets freaking
that
an upbeat inspirational song about life stuck in your head.
Yep.
Damn, Michael Bolton.
Yes.
Still being catchy after all these years.
While we're on the subject of DC, do you think with Dan DiDio being fired that I can finally get some Kyle Rayner back in Green Lantern?
Kyle Rayner has been back in Green Lantern.
But I mean good, and not getting punked out by Hal Jordan every
No. No. Long and short of it, no.
Well, okay. So here's probably what's going to be.
Oh, by the way, thank you for that. Figure.
For what?
I figure.
Oh, you're welcome. How time I got to thank
Yeah,
you?
we were there.
Waiting for
we
a
were there when he
text.
bought it.
I was like, at least a tax? Nothing?
Yeah.
I thought, hey, I better tell you in person.
Well, okay. All right. You proved us wrong. Cool. Anyway, so the good thing possibly about licensing out those characters, if the comic division goes down, you can get probably the Carl Rayner comic you wanted if someone, a good writer and a good fan of it happens.
How much do you think the rights to Kyle Rayner would cost us?
Kyle Rayner, probably not much, but the Green Lantern, all that might be a penny.
Seeing as they're still planning on potentially having another film down the line.
Just saying, they've got too many lanterns.
And supposedly, Kyle Rayner's going to be the focal point for the Green Lantern HBO series.
What?
No?
I thought Jon Stewart was the focal point.
And they were saying, I heard Kyle Rayner,
Really?
So you're saying I gotta get HBO Go now?
probably.
When did it?
Or HBO Plus, or whatever the hell it's going to be now. Hold on.
So HBO kind of is now the DC representative. Really?
Is HBO owned by Warner Brothers or something?
It's owned by AT&T, which
No,
is
they
now
have-
owned.
no,
now,
Warner Brothers. That makes sense.
AT&T owns Warner Brothers now.
It's sort of a cooperative effort.
So you're saying I should buy AT&T stock?
I say you buy Disney stock now while it's cheap.
It is pretty cheap.
How much
Because
does it drop?
you know that thing's going to recover in like a good 5-10 years.
It was like $150+.
Now it's like in 90s.
Oh yeah,
80s?
Bye.
I'm just saying, for as big as Disney fan as you are, you should buy stock.
You're right. And then I get a seat at the table.
Yeah, you could be in one of those conference calls yelling at freaking Bob Chapek.
Yeah, and then you make crossovers with DC and Marvel.
I just want to be like the old cat lady from that episode of Futurama. I own one share. I own one share of the Kajigas. So I get a vote too. How come no one comes to see my cat? Because it smells.
I thought you were gonna be like the crazy cat lady from The Simpsons. You just throw cats at people.
You know, I haven't watched The Simpsons in a long time.
I love
No one
it.
has.
Nobody has.
I have, and it's good.
Recently?
Yeah.
Really?
It's still good.
I don't know.
There was a episode like 4 years ago that I watched that at that point was new that really got me. I was like,
The Grandpa Simpson one?
I'll tell you, dude. You guys, it's still topical and it's still a good show. I don't know why you guys.
No,
I mean,
I
know-
just
I
kind
know.
of lost track of it. Man.
Yeah.
Seriously.
You know what? It's just been on too long and I've moved on.
Okay, that's fine. I haven't. I'm a completionist.
I know it's still there, but
Yeah, And besides, with the invention of Hulu, you can always go back and watch it.
no damn far.
It's true.
Are you watching on Disney Plus?
No.
Speaking of
I have
which,
Hulu.
Did they fix the aspect ratio finally? That they destroyed? Nobody was watching it on Disney Plus because they screwed up the aspect ratio.
well, to be honest, I'm not watching anything on Disney Plus.
No one
Do you
is.
even have Disney Plus?
I got it through Verizon for free. So I have it for a year, but you know what, man? I haven't loaded it since Mandalorian.
No one has.
You know, actually, let me.
Is it over? Mandalorian's already.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only 8 episodes.
Yeah, it'll be back like maybe now in October, supposedly.
So maybe.
8 episodes. Damn,
I mean-
episode seasons.
It's kind of interesting to me because, yes, I am a Disney fan. But really, it's not like I'm going back to watch Sword in the Stone every week or Robin Hood.
Well, they're saying that's like the big problem with Disney Plus. is There's not enough.
Original,
Like,
no new content.
yeah, no new content, and
It's a huge backlog.
It's all the same. You know, at least with Netflix, they rotate things out. They got different originals coming in and out. And
Yeah.
Well,
There's
right
just not
now,
enough
all
there.
the streaming services are gonna be booming because everyone's gonna have a lot of time on their hands.
oh,
Well, and that's more. See, the thing is to make those new content takes more money. So now that their stocks have dropped, I'm going to stop.
We might not have new content for a little while based on.
I know they
all
shut
this
down
nonsense.
production of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Okay.
And that was actually the only thing on Disney Plus I was looking forward to. I don't plan to get Disney Plus. I was just gonna, pass a friend of mine a thumb drive
Find
and,
other ways.
and find another way. Maybe download a VPN and get to work.
All right. Well, hopefully the government's not listening to this.
No one's listening to this.
Hi, Danny. Hi, Della.
Yes.
So that's how you know.
Hi, Burn.
Maybe potentially twisted.
The government sent everybody home.
Yes.
So,
You too, man. Take care. Of
no. So, last week, a coworker of mine told me about this documentary on Netflix. It's called the Trials of Gabriel Fernandez.
Oh yeah, my wife just watched that.
And I was like, okay, it's a documentary, but it's about a little kid from LA who the system just completely let down, and he was ended up beaten to death by his mother and her boyfriend.
Oh my god.
And I was like, okay, well, it's a documentary, dude. It's just gonna be like an hour and a half movie. I don't want to see it, but he told me it was so good, I have to see it. So I was like, I'll get through it. It was a docu-series,
Seems to be the way they're going now.
and it was like 6 episodes, like long, and that shit was rough. Like I'd have to take breaks to catch my breath and go and try to clear my head. Like I'd be like in tears at some spots. It's just like
This is on Netflix?
yes,
I can't do
because I was
hanging
like
from this-
it.
from the ceiling fan in no time.
It destroyed me, and like I finished it in 2 days just because I was like, I can't not finish this.
Wow.
And like this kid looked barely human at the end. They just beat him so much. Like they found BBs in him. They found kitty litter.
God,
They found kitty litter in his stomachs because like they would just feed him shit, like literal cat shit. He was forced to sleep in a cupboard that they would bind, like they would handcuff him.
Where is this in LA?
This is in LA,
What?
and like the social workers just kept pawning it off on like someone else. So they got put on trial, but of course they got off. And yeah, dude. It was just like, it was horrible. And the worst part about this is, and then they ended up making like all these new checks and balances and all that stuff. And you think it's gonna get better? Same thing happened to another kid like a couple of years later. Dude.
From the same couple?
No, different couple, same thing. It was a lady and her boyfriend.
And and there was a biological kid of the girl.
Yeah, of the woman.
Man, when my wife told me about it, I feel like I'm a very easygoing person. I'm probably not as forceful as I should be in a lot of things. But I think that sort of thing probably brings out the monster in me.
Oh yeah.
And I was telling my wife, like, you know what? If I were in charge in that particular manner, or could make the law, I'm very much in favor of no slow deaths for those people. Like, okay, you're gonna get you're gonna die, but you need to contribute to society. So guess what? We're bringing back lions.
Right.
You're gonna fight the lions.
Yeah.
Entertain us.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so like the boyfriend got sentenced to death.
Good.
And then the mother copped a plea after that, where she'll spend the rest of her life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Lions.
So, but from what I was told, my coworker looked into this. I guess she got the crap kicked out of her and was like stabbed a bunch of times. And
in jail?
yeah,
God.
she's still alive, but
I hope they're watching that documentary.
I'm sure she's
in
persona.
jail.
yeah.
You know what, man? Honestly, all this the sexual predators, the ones that prey on kids and the ones that abuse kids, when they go to jail, man, even the inmates are like, yeah, you're, they're in for a rough ride. But you know what? That's the way it should be. Honestly, I can't believe that shit, man.
Yeah, dude.
Like John said, man, I would flip my shit.
Yeah, no, it was a very rough pill, dude.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and,
I was all ready to.
and Like and like right before like they interviewed his teacher who would go to the principal and just like the principal would be like, oh well, we did our job, we called this, and ignore it.
My understanding of that thing is there's like one dude who did anything worthwhile, and it was like some janitor or something.
It's a security guard.
Security guard who literally tried to call the cops, and the cops were like, no, it's
We'll
not us.
send somebody.
Call somebody else. And then he had to call the sheriff, and the sheriff's like, oh, we'll send somebody.
This is LA?
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
So even the
It's the one good guy there so far.
CPA and all that stuff like that. No,
They wouldn't separate him from the mother. They wouldn't talk to him like individually, and like they just take her word for it.
That's crazy, man.
Like, oh, he's just starting trouble because he got in a fight. Oh, he looks that way because he got in a fight at school. Oh,
Okay, but go verify,
yeah.
right?
No, nothing.
That's the thing. There's got to be follow up. Oh,
Yeah,
you fell
no.
down the stairs.
No,
huh?
and they
Okay.
even said like they had like some of the social workers or people that knew the social workers on there, and like one of them would be like, oh yeah, everybody knew her. She was a B, and she was lazy and wouldn't do this and that. And
Oh,
like
one of the social
one of the social workers like pre-filled out her sheets. So like, oh okay, he's good. And like one of them like even like after he passed said he was fine.
Wow.
Okay. Oh man, I don't know if I could continue this. I'm like
I think we should change the
I think
subject.
I'm gonna off myself right now, or go on a rampage before I do that.
So,
I've been watching Resident Evil movies since they're on Netflix. I figured since we have the C
lighthearted.
virus going around, I've been watching something with the T virus.
I hope they'll counteract each other.
Yeah.
so have you guys played any good games recently?
I just picked up My Hero Academia 2.
How was the first one?
I don't know. I never played it.
Oh, okay.
Well, it was one of those things where like it kind of slipped past me, but then like I was like, oh, maybe I'll get it. But then I was like, oh, well, 2's going to be out like in a few months anyways. I might as well just wait for that because, even though it's out already, they still charge you damn near full price. So I was like, I might as well just wait for the new one.
Let me
And-
ask you, Vince.
Yes, we still need to install that terabyte drive into my PS4.
Yeah, I'd like one
Apparently
too.
we're all gonna have time off. Who knows?
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
But
Well, not yet. I just got told, no, still show up tomorrow.
double time.
No, we're still working.
So, what's a game that you remember fondly that had a story?
Zelda.
Okay, that you liked.
Super Nintendo Zelda.
Okay. What if I told you that they're gonna remaster that game with updated graphics and an updated battle system, but instead
Are you
of
talking about
instead
Final
of-
Fantasy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it fucking grinds my gears.
Why?
Virgil, that game was done. It was done
It was
20
done.
years ago.
They're doing it like seasonal. Like
They're doing some weird thing. So you've got this game that you bought for $50, $60 in 1997, and it was done.
I got it.
All right? It was dove.
okay, we're talking to Chief Johnny Love
And
here.
now, no.
No, no,
No. And now, okay, they're gonna break this game into 4 different parts, and you're gonna pay $60 a piece for each game now. And
You don't
I
have to buy
really,
it.
yeah, I guess you don't have to buy it, but Final Fantasy VII was like the freaking Titanic. All
Oh
right,
yeah, it was.
you couldn't get away from that game.
Oh no.
I
I
know
never
that.
played it.
Well,
It's a long investment, dude.
there's something like 60 million copies that were originally sold. Shit tons of people played that game. But my point being is, really, you employ, like, you revamped the graphics and redid the battle system. But the story was already done.
Yeah.
How are you charging me $240 for this game that cost me $60?
You're not paying
I'm
for
sure-
the story. You're
Well,
paying.
You're paying for
the-
updated graphics, sure, good.
Well, technically, you're paying for Tifa's breast reduction.
Apparently, yes. Oh, and they added some ghosts. Sorry.
See, ghosts are hard.
Ghosts
to,
are a thing now.
You gotta.
hard to render.
Exactly.
So
thank you.
it really makes me fearful for future remake games. I like remake games, and if Final Fantasy VII were $60 and then hey, you get the full game, sure. Guess what? I'm gonna buy it.
Right.
I did play the demo, and I really loved the demo. I thought the demo was really, really well done, except the fact that Barrett sounds like a Robert Downey Jr. from Tropic Thunder. He really does. He really sounds like that. But it makes me fearful for other games that I enjoy. Like, Sergio, could you imagine going to buy Wolfenstein and then them going, hey, you know what? It was a massive undertaking, so we split it into 6 different parts, and you need to pay $50 a piece for each one.
I would rage.
Yeah.
They're kind of doing that anyways, man. Like,
It's-
when you think about it, EA's been doing that where they've got, they end up with, like,
All the
other
downloadable
add-ons.
content.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where they're like, oh, all new characters and all
Yeah.
new weapons and stuff.
But the
and you're like,
yeah.
why wouldn't you just have included that in the main game? They've
I
been doing
get
this
that.
to us for years, man.
I get that. They've been doing that. But you're not only going to... Now you're piling onto it. You're not just going to have DLC for Final Fantasy... Or, I'm sorry, parts for Final Fantasy VII. You're going to have DLC. You think they're not going to capitalize on an Aerith Resurrection finally? Hey, here's your Aerith Resurrection DLC. By the way, $25. So we're going to come out $300+ for Final Fantasy VII.
So, I'm a fan of the remakes, okay, for computer games as well, okay, and I'll tell you why. I've been working on my backlog now, since I have spare time. The Resident Evil 2 remake is fabulous, okay? The RE2 remake on PC is gorgeous. I'm starting to play through that. It is fantastic. It's the full game with a bunch of tweaks, not just a remake, but like a real real redone, cinematics and graphics and stuff, where it has the feel of the original game, but a lot of new content. So it's the new game while still preserving the nostalgic feel.
Yeah.
They're doing it with the Red Alert and with Command & Conquer. They're re-releasing them both together soon, in June, I think, where it's going to be the original game with remastered visuals, remastered audio. It's the complete game, both complete games with all their expansions and stuff included. It's
Yeah.
going to be fabulous. The Doom, I'm replaying right now, Doom from 2016. Doom Eternal is supposed to hit this Friday coming up, which is fabulous. Again, a remake of an old game from the freaking 90s, which is fantastic. All the new
Oh,
gameplay
that you say
elements.
fabulous like everything else.
That too. So, the remakes are good because I think that they're kind of counter to the new style that was coming up with the games where, like, I heard the new Star Wars game wasn't that popular because you could play through it in like less than 8 hours or something
I still
ridiculous.
want to play it.
Yeah. So,
I don't think that's a qualifier for a great game, though. I mean, look at the God of War games, which are also only 8 hours, but they're phenomenal. You just need to make a good game that gives you that.
I guess, man. But the thing is, if I'm gonna pay $50 for a game, I'd like there to be
Yeah.
some content.
Yeah, and that's great. But, that Resident Evil 2 game, imagine now you get half the game and you have to pay for the other half.
Yeah, no, I'd
full
rage.
price.
I'd rage.
So, yeah.
Like,
I
if
mean,
it
that's my point.
stopped at a certain point and it was like, please download disc 2, I'd rage.
Yeah.
I'd rage.
So this is especially concerning for me with games like Final Fantasy, which back on PS1 were 4 discs long. When they get to FF8, if they decide to go that route, God, how many discs are you going to make? How many times are you going to make me pay for that?
Right.
Anyway, I guess I derailed us with that one.
Listen,
Oh, no,
John.
that's fine. I'm actually okay with that.
Hey,
It was a good conversation.
I'm gonna top this off with something that a good friend of the show, the devil himself, Jake, said to John once. John, if Square
Nice hitting.
Enix, huh?
Nice punch.
No. If Square Enix took a shit in a box and wrapped it with a nice bow, you'd be first in line to pay top dollar for it.
And guess what? He called it wrong because I'm not first in line. I haven't even ordered Final
You
Fantasy
would be
VII.
if you could. You're too cheap.
I
That's
am
also
cheap.
the problem.
You know what? If it were $60, I might.
See?
But the fact that it's $240 right
Everyone
now.
has their price.
Right.
You shouldn't support it for any price.
Or the $1 Million Man, who's probably going to be
Right?
paying the government.
It's
for
a matter of principle.
Uh,
Anyway, some companies are doing it right, others are not.
Yeah, that's the trend, and so for what I've been doing,
We
actually,
have a 50% off sale.
so here's
interest-free.
so here's something that during Christmas, Vince got me, and then I actually ended up getting it myself. So I actually finished Ghostbusters the arcade, the video game again, and it's and
Quietly
you
flipping
talk-
them off, ripping my eye.
Yes, but you have it now.
That's beside the point.
Have you played it yet?
Yes, of course I played.
Okay, awesome.
I'm still at the hotel.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, actually, I'm at the part where we're chasing Stay Puft Marshmallow Mint in the streets. of New
Okay,
York.
you are way.
I'm at the beginning.
You're still way at the beginning. Okay. Anyway, so because
Well, I played the PlayStation 3 version. I know they've added some things.
Yeah, something. I actually can't remember so far back. Anyway, so but Lowe was saying.
Oh, you go so far back. I've already done with
You guys like how we referred to 3
I'm just
years
saying
ago
I
as
don't-
so far back?
I don't remember. Is basically what I'm
Nowadays.
saying. Anyway, so
So much has
he-
changed in 3 years. That's the problem.
Yeah. So he was saying was the last video game he's done with a good story and stuff like that. That game has a great story because it has the actors. Last time Harold Ramis was Egon, and it's a great game, and I was thoroughly entertained the entire time. There's just that one rough spot I knew I was getting to, and it was again rough. It took me 2 nights to beat it. Well, 2 nights of my life, but anyway.
You know, the only thing that game was missing, in my personal opinion, was a bunch of queefing jokes.
Because
Ghostbusters has the call. Remember that was like,
no, that came that came before that.
it's a joke that I knew was gonna just drive you mad for a second.
I was like, what are you talking about? Anyway, so
Remember they made a bunch of those for some weird ass reason, like
I don't know. Yeah, it came out to the front, whatever, all that crap.
yeah.
Oh, dude, what? See, I was happy. Now I'm angry again. Thanks.
So I like
Jeez.
Angry Virgil.
Anyway, yes, you do. All right. Anyway, so
He's fiery.
there was a March sale on the PlayStation Store, and so I got 2 pervy games because I'm a pervy man now. So it was Galgun 2, and then there's the other one. It was something, but it's basically it's a something beach like squirt gun or whatever. So you basically you pick a team of girls in scantily clad bikinis, and you just shoot each other with water guns, and then you have like a finisher, which is an awesome finisher. So
A water balloon.
no, better. But anyway, it was only like $10. I was like, yeah, this is awesome.
Got that on the Steam sale, huh?
Oh yes, no. It was PlayStation Store.
Oh,
I thought PlayStation was censoring a bunch of that stuff.
Well, I mean, no,
No, because Japan. Yeah.
no.
Yeah, but they moved corporate offices to San Francisco. That's ground zero for the wokes. And Portland.
Vince, you'd be surprised.
I'm always surprised.
They're not going to bite the hand.
No. But I'm saying you'd be surprised with this game because I mean, they're not going to censor it after I bought it. I mean, come on now.
You'd be surprised. They're doing a lot
I'd
of
be
things
surprised.
now.
I'd be surprised.
Download an update.
Like an
blocks
update?
everything out.
you must agree to this update
Yeah.
in order to play.
Yeah, all I have to say
Which,
is
by the way, is going to do everything you don't
They're
want it
doing
to do.
downloadable content in for movies now.
it's true.
I believe anything.
Yeah, but yes, this game is very handsy.
You're handsy or they're handsy?
Both.
Like, am I gonna need like a nap after 15 minutes?
I guess you can kind of work into that, but no. But it's awesome. I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
Thanks for stopping by, everyone.
Okay, I'll just take it.
Well, we're gonna leave that one on that positive note. So you can like and follow producer Virgil's band Still sending his tribute to Smith and Morris. You can find them on Still.net, Facebook, and Instagram. You can find Sergio Sanchez on Facebook at Sergio Sanchez. Believe him alone, he's a cranky old man. And plus, there's like 125 of them.
There's a mariachi, a soccer player, and I don't know.
A
I think
Cholula
I would
bottle.
go with the mariachi then.
I'd go with the mariachi too. You know, more exciting in life.
Yeah, and plus you could play you some sweet ass guitar licks.
Or fucking the trumpet.
Yeah, that'd be pretty rad.
Yeah.
All right.
Or or if you get the gordito that with the big fucking the big bass, that's awesome.
Is that a guitarron?
And I forgot all Johnny Lowe's contact information.
I'm only on Facebook.
You can find Johnny Lowe on Facebook at Delicious Low Shizzle.
Is it still really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That
okay.
name should never go away.
It's not going to. It's timeless.
Yeah.
Yep. Or just follow. Just you can follow him. Find him wandering around like Ken in Kung Fu,
There you go.
That's right.
helping people with their Final Fantasy questions.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Hey, apparently I'm the only one in the Final Fantasy community that gives a shit about this. The
Wow.
president at Sets for Gaming.
Okay. All right. We already shut that can of worms. Let's go.
Just saying.
All right. Thanks for stopping by. I'll get the check.